En el brunch de los 40 recibimos a una de las bandas más interesantes y que vienen con una consolidación hermosísima, presentándose aquí en la Ciudad de México, trayéndonos su nuevo álbum The Clearing. Están con nosotros Wolf Alice. Ellie, Joel, welcome to Mexico.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you just went from the ultimate pop experience, playing in Camden, to bringing here your beautiful chaos to Mexico City. How about that?
Not sure if our chaos is very beautiful, but
I like the idea of that, though. Beautiful Chaos from Camden.
Yeah, from Camden, yeah. You know, The Clearing has a pretty distinctive, good sound. And Ellie, I was dying to ask you because you've mentioned that Just Two Girls was inspired with dinners with your friends and the validation one can find in those conversations. You know, we've all been there. When you look at the track list of The Clearing, how much of this record feels like that collective process of getting older with the people you love?
yeah, I think a lot of it is about taking a second to look around you and what you've built and what you have and what you love, I guess. Yeah.
Like to have a good appreciation of the life
Yeah.
you built.
Yeah, instead of always looking to the next thing, like look towards what
Definitely.
you know.
Yeah, and you know, Joel, we are living in really troubled times, to say the least. And I was wondering how writing this album was the right catharsis and help maybe you and Ellie and the other members of the band to transition from the anxieties one can experience in their 20s and now dealing with a new decade.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, the world wasn't much better when we started writing it, but, you know, things do feel like they're getting crazier and crazier by the day. I guess as a general kind of rule, all of us really appreciate what music can give to us, and the way that we treat songwriting is probably different for each member. But yeah, I really took a lot of, you know, talking about a moment of peace. I think if that's what you need and a songwriter can provide it, this album was probably the most where we did that, you know. And yeah, like the age thing is a thing, and I like what you said about getting older with the you know, people that you love and the things you love. That's a nice way of looking at it, and it can maybe calm you down in crazy times to think about your art in that way.
Definitely. And you know, in The Clearing, we can find like a good sense of hope. Like for me was that it was happy, it was joyful.
Good.
It was fun. So I was wondering because you wrote the album in London and Dead recorded it in LA with the great Greg Kurstin. How you can say the clash of those two environments shaped the final result we have?
Yeah, I guess like a lot of it would be subconscious, so it's hard to say. But I think there's definitely an Americana touch to some of the songs from The Clearing, and there's definitely like a sense of England and London. So yeah, I think that was maybe always there because of the influences we were under, as in like the influences we had at the time. But yeah, we always say that going to Los Angeles is quite inspiring because of its musical history and because of its weather. I'm sure, like, when I woke up this morning here, I was like, oh, the weather's had a similar kind of beauty to it that I was like, ooh, I feel very... We don't have that kind of beautiful dappled light in London.
Yeah.
Just wait a few hours. It's going to get a little bit glow and dark. So
Yeah.
we have all the weathers here in one
Yeah,
day.
you have it all right.
Definitely. And you know, Joel, there's been a buzz about the parallels between this new album, The Clearing, and the sound of maybe Fleetwood Mac in some eras.
Right.
Are you aware of that? Were you aware of that, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a band when we were thinking about like, the intention of what we were doing, and we remember bands like Fleetwood Mac and how pop music of a certain decade was dominated by people playing, you know, in a band playing instruments, and that was kind of what we were trying to, you know, project. We're never trying to compare ourselves to the great Fleetwood Mac, but obviously you are influenced by their incredible musicianship and their harmonies, and they treated the recording studio like an extra instrument, that's been inspiring to us for ages, you know, and there's other bands that do that. So yeah, we're aware that there's kind of like a pairing of the two things, but it's kind of crazy to keep bringing up rumors every time you're trying to promote your own album.
Oh my God. And it's really clear that your sound is so unique. Like, you sound like Wolf Alice. Nobody sounds like Wolf Alice. But I was wondering, how did you balance that, your influences paying homage to that classic, timeless 70s pop rock texture, with keeping your own sound rooted in that modern indie landscape?
That's a great question. I think if you do have an ambition to kind of do things like that and you're lucky enough to find a collaborator like we did with Greg, I think it's just about conversation and also being in a situation where you feel comfortable enough to be yourself, like the person playing the drums is me, but I'm thinking about those things that we're trying to, the picture we're trying to paint with the music. So you just start expressing yourself in different ways that you maybe didn't on previous records, and the whole experience was just like that. It was just a wonderful time of us just going in, talking about what we were trying to do, talking about the Sonics, maybe talking about Fleetwood Mac, and recording some music.
No, that's really inspiring to hear. And you can find that, like, that joy, as I was saying, in the album. And, Ellie, you, as a band, celebrated the launch of the album at the Dublin Castle in Camden. And now you're ready to bring, of course, to that work around the world in massive venues. Like, there's a difference between the venues. How important was it for you, that first show, like, in such an iconic and intimate venue, maybe grounding this new era before taking it to bigger venues like the one you're going to be playing in tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it was really important. I think we have a lot of history in Camden, and there's a lot of iconic and independent venues that have musical history that you don't want to lose the big hit you get. And also, when you first playing your songs, you don't really want to play them to a huge crowd. It's a bit scary.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, it was really important, and I think it's a really cool venue. It's got a little shop next door to it. It's run by the same people that, sells merch and stuff like that. And it all goes to a charity, and they're just kind of keeping a kind of old school rock and roll English musical legendary history alive. So it was an honour to play there.
That's fantastic, because that feeling, you only can get it like at your home and what you do, of course. And speaking of what you're about to do, massive live crowds, congratulations on the announcement of your tour with Olivia Rodrigo. That sounds amazing. Yes. How do you feel the Clearing, with its themes of growing up and finding peace, will resonate with her specific high energy and passionate crowd?
Yeah, I think we won't be playing a full headline set. We'll be tailoring our set to the occasion. It's a support slot, and we're probably going to want to have the most fun and keep it high energy. And we're lucky we have 5 albums and 2 EPs to choose from.
Yeah. How hard is it to pick from all your catalog a set list for different venues, like the intimate one, the big ones you're going to be headlining and touring with Olivia?
Somehow it seems to be the hardest thing for the 4 of us, or 5 of us, with Ryan as well, to decide. Like, we did a tour in America last year, and I swear every time we came off, it was like trying to crack the Da Vinci Code afterwards, of working out what works and what doesn't. But because we take a lot of pride in the live show, and you realize as well the kind of performer you want to be on stage is kind of based upon the dynamic of what you're trying to do. You can't really expect an audience to give you what you would love to have from an audience if you're not kind of getting all the puzzle pieces in the right place. So it'll be, look, we're going to have a really fun time. We're honored to be asked. It's going to be really fun.
Definitely, absolutely. And tomorrow is going to be Mexico City. It's going to be Mexico City's turn. And this city has a big reputation for being one of the most passionate, emotionally intense crowds in the world. You've experienced it, of course. That perfectly matches the description of who you are as a band, I think. How does it feel to bring, finally, the Clearing, this new era, to that CDMX stage tomorrow, right at this moment of absolute consolidation for you as a band?
Yeah, amazing. I think we're not just bringing the Clearing to Mexico, because it's a sad thing that we've only just started coming here. It wasn't maybe possible for us to come here before, but we have I think it will be all the more exciting because it's not like we're just here to promote a new album. We're here to celebrate, like introducing ourselves to a Mexican audience,
Totally.
and so it'll be kind of almost like, you know, a different feeling, like bigger and don't know, yeah. So it feels quite momentous, and yeah, if our last show here, which was a lot smaller, or anything to go by, then I know that we'll have some brilliant people coming to the show who like you say, are very passionate and.
Definitely. We've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
Like
We've been
for
waiting to come here. Yeah, this is crazy. When the way you described the show, I was like, yeah, I'm excited.
yeah, you're going to have like you're going to give us a good time and we're going to give you
I'm
a good
sure.
time. Definitely. And if you had to pick one track from this new album, from The Clearing, that you were most excited or perhaps maybe also a little bit nervous to test out live in front of those Mexican fans that are going to be in the crowd tomorrow night, which one would be and why?
I mean, I want to play Passenger Seat, but I can never remember how the chords go, so that one.
Okay, that's going to be a good rehearsal.
Yeah, bear with us.
That's going to be amazing. And I'm curious also because we were talking that there's a difference when you play in bigger venues than intimate venues. And there are many songs in your catalog. One that I really enjoy from this new album was Bread, Butter, Tea, Sugar. Have this like euphoric energy, expensive. How do you perform those big songs when you are in little pubs versus those massive shows and festivals? Like if the energy is different. How come? Like it's like a question I've been having for ages, and I thought you were the perfect band to ask that question.
Yeah, I think you can never guess what song is going to fit which place, or even what song is going to go down the best with your audience. There's always surprises, and I guess like many things, like the juxtaposition. You might think you've written a big anthemic song that would only work in a huge arena, and sometimes the juxtaposition of the two things is what makes things special. You know, like a really intimate song will be most enjoyed in a huge space, and a ridiculously outrageous big show tune will be really nice in a tiny pub, you know? So there's no point overthinking it, really. You just don't know, yeah.
It's like what the flow is going to give.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Ellie, Joel, for coming here to Mexico.
Yeah.
Finally, we will be there screaming your songs and discovering what's about to come in this new show. So thank you so much for being with us on El Brunch de los 40.
Thank you.
you
That was
so much.
lovely.
You're very good at your job. It was very good
You're
questions.
very good at your job. I love the album and what you
Thank
do.
you.
So enjoy Mexico City.
Yes.
Seguimos con más en el brunch de los 40. Wolf Alice estuvo con nosotros y la van a romper mañana en su concierto aquí en la Ciudad de México.